who's in R&B category. Let's get it. Hey guys, like I was saying, I'm here with Mercy Ankama today, the StepFWD Awards Song of the Year nominee. Mercy, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. Great to have you here for the interview. Excited to hear about your music and all that's going on with you. So yeah, let's get into it, man. I mean, I want to start by saying congratulations on the nomination.
Thank you.
Very well done with the song. Absolutely great song. How did you hear about it, and like, how did it feel to know that your song was one of the nominations?
It was actually O'Neill Dennis, that let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, he sent me a text message and I was really surprised. Yeah, it was like the first thing I woke up to, and I was just really surprised, and yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, okay.
It's a great song, man. So you definitely deserve to get in there. It's not it's not your first award though, is it? Because I saw that you were also nominated for like the new recording artist from the
Yeah,
Undiscovered Talent UK. So like
yeah.
you've had an award before. How was that first experience of that kind of recognition as well?
Yeah, no, that felt really good as well because yeah, you put a lot of work into
Yeah.
music and stuff, and yeah, to be recognized feels amazing, not gonna lie.
You know, one of the things I guess some people may not know about you as an artist is that your talents go beyond singing. You play piano, you play a bit guitar as well. Um,
Yeah.
how did that come about in terms of you getting into the music? Is it a music in terms of the instruments? Did something you was taking on as a child, or is it something that kind of came about more as you got older?
Yeah, no, I've always loved music. I've been singing since forever. Like I can't really like think of an age where I started singing. Like
Yeah,
I always loved singing.
yeah.
Whenever we would have visitors at home when I was younger, I'd always like, I'm gonna sing for you and
Oh
I'm gonna
wow.
dance as well. Um, so yeah, I've always been singing. With the instruments, so in my school, my primary school, they offered keyboard lessons. So I started having keyboard lessons, I think, when I was 9. And even when the lessons stopped, I just continued. I played for a little bit in church. Yeah, and I just continued after that. And with guitar, I actually started playing that in 2015.
Okay.
And reason being, because I got tired of carrying around my keyboard to gig. I was just like, I need a lighter instrument I can just
Yeah,
put on my back.
yeah.
So with guitar, I'm self-taught. I'm definitely better at keyboard than I am at guitar, but yeah.
That's quite interesting that you're self-taught with the guitar, because I don't think people could tell, because I watched some of your videos on your YouTube and your Insta, and yeah, for me, I would not be able to tell you were self-taught. I would think that you had music lessons, you've been doing it for years, so you obviously
No.
like picked it up quite quickly.
Yeah, but it is difficult though. I feel like guitar is way harder than keyboard. But yeah,
Okay.
thanks. I'm sure the pro guitar players can tell that. I always get very self-conscious when
Yeah,
like
yeah.
real instrumentalists are in the room.
Mhm. I know you said that you was doing stuff in church. So are you still part of the KICC choir?
Yeah, yeah, I'm in KICC at the moment, yeah.
Okay, and like I said, I know you was part of the choir there. Was that something that you'd always wanted to do, or did you kind of like just help out in the church? How did that come about?
So when I was a teenager, I joined the youth choirs. It was called TNT, the TNT choir. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I joined the youth choir, and it felt very natural. Always felt like it felt like the, I don't know, normal fit, I guess, because I could sing, so it's like
yeah,
might as well join the choir. Um, and then yeah, I guess I kind of the usual thing that happens with some people, like go off to uni,
yeah.
um, hop around a few different churches, and then eventually come back in your adulthood, and then yeah, then join the choir again, like the adult choir. So yeah.
Okay, so like as being part of that choir, does it play any part in how you developed as an artist?
Yeah. I didn't know how to harmonize
Okay.
until I joined the youth choir.
Mm.
So yeah, the choir leader taught me how to harmonize. And yeah, just being part of a choir and you're forced to try out different songs and different
Yeah.
styles that you wouldn't maybe normally gravitate towards on your own. So that definitely just opened me up to like just trying out different things and also working with instrumentalists as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's been really useful. It's been good to like be part of the choir, but then it's been good for me,
Mm.
like building up skills wise.
So obviously you're a singer, you're a piano player, you're a guitarist. Do you come from a musical family at all, or you were the first one to kind of like venture out in the way that you have?
Um, yeah, no, I'm not from a musical family. Um, yeah, I think my parents like back in the day in their youth might have been in a choir here or there, but no one really took it as seriously as me.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, no, I wouldn't say I'm from a musical family, no.
You know, one of the things that I really liked when I was looking at some of your material and things like that is you haven't just allowed yourself to kind of like use your gifts like in the church environment. You also take it outside of the church, and you do your singing as well. So I know you did Last Company and the Rocksteady Dalston.
Yeah.
What was those experiences like in terms of being able to like have a completely different audience, as it were, to give your music to, and even just being able to perform on those kind of stages?
Yeah. Well, I definitely I feel like I like throwing myself in the deep end. Um I think the at first I was a bit concerned about like what the reception would be like.
Yeah.
There's actually a company called Gig Ride. I'm not sure if they're still going.
Yeah.
But they reached out to me when I released Speak to Me.
Okay.
I think that was in 2017. And they wanted to put on a show with three female artists, two other artists, and myself, in a bar somewhere in Baker Street. And
That sounds so suspect.
yeah, it was just so random. And
Yeah.
I remember asking, like, are you sure? Like, I was like, did you listen to my music? Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah. And I was like, no, but it's gospel.
Yeah.
And they were like, yes, it's fine. We want you. And then I went and it was a really good reception. It wasn't like, like people enjoyed it the same way they would any other genre. And I think it was probably just myself who was like,
Yeah.
just in my head about it. So then after that, I decided to start doing all the other like venues.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was always a really good reception. Yeah.
So now that you've experienced that yourself, is that something you would encourage like other artists to also look into and try and do, is take their music from beyond the church walls and go out and just be courageous enough to do it out in public?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think, as long as you're confident in your obviously be confident in the message that is behind the music, but as long as you're confident in yourself and your sound and what you're doing, it's always going to be a good reception. So yeah, I would definitely encourage it. You never know what could happen at the end of the day. God is using you, so yeah, definitely be confident in taking it outside of the church.
See, and that, so as you finish on that, I want to ask this particular question, which will probably get you thinking a little bit. So, as an artist, then, what would you say is your greatest strength?
Oh. I don't know. No one's ever asked me that. I have no idea.
It does get your head thinking, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then you could also end up sounding very big-headed at it. Like, I'm great. I don't know. I think
because when I see you got so many skills, and I thought she's obviously very good with her songwriting. And like I said, I think you're good with the instruments, and obviously you're talented as a singer itself. would you say any one of those are your strengths, or is there something else you might look at and say, actually, this would probably be the thing that makes that kind of shows me as an artist?
Maybe my songwriting. I think in terms of my development, that's the thing that I feel like has developed quite well the most over the years. Yeah, my songwriting. I'm very particular about like melodies and what words I use and rhyming. Like, yeah, I can be a bit of a perfectionist with that. So yeah, maybe my songwriting.
So, obviously, like we're in this world where everybody's kind of like into reality TV. You know, from the days of when Big Brother started to whatever reality shows are out there now. So people like to know about people. So my next question is one where people can probably get to know you a little bit more. So let's say, it's just a regular Saturday, you're not doing any music or not. What are the kind of interest hobbies that Mercy Ankama does? What's she into?
Aside from music.
Aside from music.
Okay, so if I'm not doing anything music related, I'll probably be like trying to reconnect with friends, like just hanging out with my friends, or
Are you a movie lover at all, or do you listen to other genres other than what you do?
Yeah, no, I do listen to other genres. So like, yeah, I guess, like Afrobeats. I'm a huge Burna Boy fan. But yeah, in terms of like other hobbies and stuff, I'm into like graphic design.
Okay.
So I might be like, doing a tutorial, making something. I recently made like my friend has a podcast, and I made her artwork for her podcast. So like stuff like that. Yeah, I feel like whatever I'm doing, it's almost like work related. So like music is almost work related. The graphic design stuff is like kind of work related. So yeah, I guess I'm always trying to be productive in some way with whatever I'm doing.
So you're an all over creative, really. I mean, you're obviously not just in music, but like you said, you do graphic design as well. So in general, you're a very creative person then.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
So no, go on. Sorry.
I took up knitting in 2020.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, I literally recently just finished the blanket. So yeah,
I need a blanket. I might have to come and like hit you up and get one for myself.
Took me forever.
Wow. So like, go back to you as the artist then. So if you could open a show for any artist out there, who would you choose to open a show for?
See, this is always hard. There's always one person that comes to mind at first, but like I have a few others.
Yeah. So who was that first person?
Beyonce.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. You could listen. If any gospel artist said they wouldn't open a show for Beyonce, as far as I'm concerned, they're lying. Because it's such a big platform, isn't it? The opportunity is massive. If you did that, even if like the people came there for her, the opportunity for you to be able to like do one of your songs before she comes on is huge.
Yeah, she's always the first person that comes to mind, and then the others are like Jonathan McReynolds and Carrie Job.
Okay, cool. Those are good choices. Very good choices.
Yeah.
So have you ever had any like nightmare experiences on stage? Your typical kind of artist things where maybe they forgot a lyric or you suddenly started singing and something stops working. Anything that pops out to your head that you've experienced?
Oh my gosh, yeah. This was in 2013. This was like, was it the first time? I don't think it was the very first time I'd ever been on stage outside of church, but it was like the early days.
Yeah.
I was doing Miss Ghana UK.
Yeah.
And they gave me a mic that wasn't working. Like we had a lot of sound issues before then. And I wanted like a proper mic that you hold. And then they gave me one and it wasn't working, and then the organizers were trying to tell me to use a lapel mic, and like you don't want to use a lapel mic to sing. So basically I was singing and it just wasn't working. Like I wasn't heard. That was a nightmare because like it was embarrassing.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody using like a standard lapel mic to really do that kind of thing. But I was like, and I'm on stage when they're telling me like from the side, oh, just use your lapel mic, and I'm like, that's not the same thing.
Good enough. Oh, that was a nightmare.
Yeah. So let's talk about your track that was nominated for the awards. Tell us a little bit about it, the vision behind the song, and what it means to you.
Okay, so I feel like a lot of my songs, well, the ones that end up being like quite popular are the ones that are always written out of a situation.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I was probably going through something where I felt like, is God even hearing my prayers?
Yeah.
And then I had a conversation with someone who was like trying to be really encouraging and just, let me know that like God is there. All the, usual stuff that a fellow Christian would say to another, like trying to keep someone's spirits high. And I guess it worked. Like it made me feel like, okay, God definitely is like there. And then when I got home after that conversation, I wrote that song. I think I wrote in like, I don't know, like a matter of minutes. Like it didn't feel like it took very long.
Yeah.
Because I was just, I don't know, I guess I was just really feeling it and like just in the moment. And I just wrote, I didn't have to think too hard about it. Like I just wrote it.
Yeah. Well, it was a successful song, and it had the impact that you was hoping for, because it's been nominated for the award for the R&B Song of the Year. So you did very well with it, clearly. So what's next for you? Is there any more music on the way? Any events or that we can look out for?
Well, event-wise, I don't have anything booked at the moment, but music-wise, I am still writing, and I'm looking to like produce some more music, maybe like another single like this year, maybe to release next year. But yeah, no, there's more music on the way. Event wise, I'm not sure at the moment, but yeah, definitely.
Okay. And obviously, we've got your songs out at the moment, which we definitely want people to get behind and be streaming and downloaded. So where can people find you on social media if they want to like follow like your music, etc.?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. I think I'm the most active on Instagram. So it's Mercy Ankama on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter. Not as active on Twitter, but music wise, I'm on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, just basically all the digital streaming platforms where you get your music. If you just search Mercy Ankama, you'll find I Love You, and like all my other old songs as well.
Great music.
Yeah.
Well, guys, definitely make sure you're doing exactly that. Follow Mercy Ankama on her social platforms. Definitely, she wants to see those follows, those subscribes, all of that good stuff. And if you want to vote for her at this year's StepFWD Awards, head over to stepfwdawards.com. She's in the R&B category, so if you want to vote for her song, make sure you get there and cast your votes before those voting lines close. Mercy, it's been absolutely great having you here today for the interview. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before you go?
Yes, actually. The producer that I worked with for I Love You, Chuck's Chiajane, he's a really great producer and instrumentalist. So yeah, shout out to him.
Excellent. Well, guys, like I said, make sure you're following her and showing your support, streaming those songs as much as you can. This has been In The Mix with DJ Marx and Mercy Ankama. Thank you for watching.
Visit us for updates and shows at affinityextra.co.uk.